Hey, I'm Angie.
And I am Aislinn.
And on today's episode of the Food Hero Cooking Show, we are making tabbouleh bulgur wheat salad. Let's go get washed up so we can get started.
And a food hero is fun. Yeah.
All right, hands are clean. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Set your towel over there. This is going to be delicious. Okay, so bulgur is made from whole wheat that's kind of been parboiled and cracked, so it actually cooks much quicker than a lot of whole grains.
Is bulgur rice?
No, bulgur is made from wheat, but it's a whole grain. It's very delicious. And the way you make it for this salad is super easy. So all you do is you just take 1 cup of bulgur with 1 cup of hot water. So I heat some water up in the microwave. You stir it together and then you just let it sit for about a half hour, which is what I've done. And look at it, it's already done. All right, so we get lots of fiber from that bulgur, and fiber is good for our digestive system, right?
Yes.
So let's get everything going for this. Now, what I'm gonna have you do, Aislinn, is make the dressing, which is very simple. It's just made from lemons, some oil, and then some salt and pepper, and some garlic powder. So I'm gonna let you do that. I got the recipe for you right here. Do you see it?
Yep.
So look under dressing. Let's move some of this out of the way.
Dressing, 1/4 cup of lemon juice.
All right, so what you're gonna do, grab our citrus squeezers, and you're gonna need the measuring cup too, so you can get 1/4 cup. And you'll just squeeze it right into there.
So do I do it like
Yep.
this?
You know how to do it. Okay.
It's huge.
Okay, it looks like you got the lemon juice. So for a 1/4 cup, it's about 2 full small lemons, or if they're a little bigger, maybe 1.5. So go ahead and pour your lemon juice in there. And then I'm gonna let you measure out the pepper and the salt. 1 teaspoon of pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay? And then I'm gonna let you do that. While she's doing that, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get the tabbouleh in our bowl.
Give them all of that good stuff. Recipes that kids love. It's hard to get.
And now, this recipe calls for celery and cucumber. Tabbouleh traditionally doesn't have celery in it that I've had. It's a Lebanese dish. It does always have a lot of cucumbers and tomatoes. And I didn't have any celery on hand, so I just went ahead and did double the amount of cucumber to sub in to give us that crunch instead of the celery. And what I used today was this delicious lemon cucumber. So I get this from one of our local farmers here. I actually just picked it up yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to try lemon cucumber, you definitely should. And no, they don't taste like lemons. They are very good, and I've never had a bitter one. So we're gonna get lots of good cucumber in there. Yeah, so 2 tablespoons of oil, Ace, and you get the 2 tablespoons of oil. All right, and then it also calls for green onion, and in my delivery this week of local produce, I actually got the purple onions, which are very similar to the green onions. They're just purple, so it's gonna be a really pretty color. So we've got 4 of those. Those are gonna go straight in. All right, and then I also got these locally, and these are just some beautiful little tomatoes, and I'm just gonna either halve those or quarter those, depending on the size, and those are gonna go in here too. All right, and Aislinn, the recipe calls for garlic, minced garlic or garlic powder. And I'm going to have you go ahead and add that into the dressing too. Now it says, yes, and the recipe says 1 clove or 1/8 of a teaspoon, but I'm going to have you go ahead and add 1/4 of a teaspoon to the garlic powder. And you can use fresh garlic too. I'm just keeping it easy for today. All right, so I've got all my beautiful tomatoes in there, and it called for 1 tomato, but I just went ahead and added everything I have. Because, you know, the more fruits and vegetables, the better, right? That's what I always say. Now, tabbouleh traditionally is really like an herbal salad. It really should be more of a proportion of herbs. So we're going to go ahead and just be really generous with the amount of herbs we use. Now, here's where I'm taking a departure from the original. So traditionally it's made with parsley, but in my family we really, really like cilantro. And so we're going to sub the cilantro in today for the parsley. And go, you know, if you want to make it with parsley, go for it. But what I feel like is recipes are a base, and really you should adjust them to your family's taste and preference. So if cilantro is one that's more familiar to your family too, because that's another tip. That's a great way to introduce new foods, is maybe make sure you're bringing in flavors that are more familiar to your family. So a cup of the parsley was what originally was called for, and I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of cilantro, and you're really going to want to, it's a packed cup, because this really should be a nice herby salad with lots of leaves. So we're going to do that. Cup of cilantro.
I just got finished with the dressing.
Okay, just a second. We'll get that in. And then it also calls for 1/4 cup of mint. And actually, I have mint growing in my backyard. And I'm doing a little bit more than 1/4 cup here, but I just went and picked this. We're going to get that in there. All right, and then Aislinn, we are ready for you to pour the dressing on. So let's get that on. Good. This recipe is much better if you let it, the flavors meld together in the fridge. So it's always a good idea to try to make this a little bit before you plan to serve it. Really, really good. So I'm just going to get that all stirred up nicely. You want to stir it a little bit, Aislinn?
Mm-hmm.
Help stir. That's it. Came together pretty quick. A nice salad as a side dish. Or the other thing you can do, I like to add garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I'll actually put some of those in there, and so you have some protein, so it's more of a complete meal. Or we'll have this as a side dish with hummus and pita bread. It's really good that way too. In fact, should we make some hummus now?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should. All right, so with that, we're going to let you go. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Food here always fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.